One of our viewers was interested in early retirement. They're age 48. They want to retire at age 50. They recently sold a second home and have some savings. We're going to explore this situation, so stay tuned for the full episode. Here's our viewer's question. I am 48 years old with my house paid for, and I have cash of $300,000 and an IRA and Roth that totals $520,000. In addition to that, I also sold another house with proceeds around $800,000. I'm thinking about retiring at age 50. Do you think I can achieve this assuming moderate spending in retirement at $50,000 per year in expenses? Welcome back. This is Richard with Wisdom Investor. Our viewer here wants to retire early at age 50. Now, there's a lot of interest these days in folks wanting to leave their job, or maybe they're not feeling well and they want to retire early. However, it does take a certain amount of discipline to retire early. Even though you've saved up a good amount of money, there's 30 or 40 years left that you have to be able to manage your money and make it work for the long term. Now, here are the basic facts to the situation. The viewer is 48, wants to retire at 50, is going to spend $50,000 per year in expenses. They've saved $300,000 in cash. The house is paid for. That's a plus. They just sold a house. They're going to have $800,000 in proceeds. That's a plus. And they have an IRA and a Roth totaling $520,000. Now, there's two early retirement concerns here that we want to address. First one is income from age 50 to 60. He's going to retire at age 50. So we need to have income between 50 and 60, and we don't want to create early withdrawal penalties. The second concern is after the age of 60. So we're going to need to develop a stream of income from 60 all throughout retirement, and also possibly have enough for inheritance for the kids. Here's a list of other early retirement concerns to think about. Now, down at the bottom, we have listed Social Security. Our viewer needs to work 35 years of wages to get his full retirement benefit. So if he retires early, he may be jeopardizing at least part of his Social Security benefit down the road. Our viewer here has done an excellent job of calculating how much his expenses are going to be for retirement. It's very important to understand your expenses so you can calculate how much income you're going to need. I've developed two different solutions here. One is slightly aggressive. The second one is conservative. Now, within each solution, we're going to have two steps. The first step is determining the withdrawal income from the ages of 50 to 60, and the second step would be developing withdrawal income from 60 throughout retirement. We're going to take a look at our first solution here. This is for generating income between the ages of 50 and 60. We're going to take $300,000 from the savings, and we're going to take $150,000 from the proceeds from the house. We said the proceeds from the house was $800,000 total. This will give us a total of $450,000 invested. We're estimating a rate of return of 6%, which would be 50% equities, 50% fixed income. This $450,000 will last 10 years, and the viewer would be able to withdraw $4,166 per month, or $50,000 per year. We said earlier his expenses would be $50,000 per year. The $4,166 per month withdrawal will grow at 2% per year for inflation, with 6% investment return and a 12% tax rate. So that satisfies our requirement for the income needed between ages 50 and 60. Now we're going to take a look at our second part of our first solution. The viewer has proceeds from the house, and he has money from the IRA and Roth. We're going to need to invest that money at age 50 so that by the time our viewer reaches age 60, he'll have enough money that he'll be able to withdraw from age 60 throughout retirement. So we're going to take $650,000 proceeds from the house, $150,000 of the proceeds was already used in example 1. And we're also going to add $520,000 from the IRA and the Roth. That's totals $1,170,000. Invested return, we're estimating at 6% for the next 10 years from age 50 to 60. That's going to come to $1,957,000. Now that $1,957,000 needs to be enough to withdraw a monthly expense amount from this amount from age 60 throughout retirement. We're going to take a look at our Solution 1 final results. We said that by age 60, if all goes well, our viewers accumulated $1,957,000 from the proceeds of the house and the IRA. This money needs to last from age 60 throughout retirement. We're estimating an investment return of 6% using 50% equities, 50% fixed income. Our viewer could withdraw, starting at age 60, $5,167 per month. And this is adjusted 2% for inflation each year during retirement. His savings would last him a lifetime and would also continue to grow so that the children have an inheritance of $3,700,000. Now, there's also additional income that would come in from Social Security, but we're not going to calculate that. That would be used for any unexpected taxes or taxes from required minimum distributions. Our viewer has not only done an excellent job of saving for retirement, but also investing in real estate to give them additional capital appreciation in retirement. Now we're going to take a look at our conservative number 2 solution. In this example, we're going to take $300,000 from savings and $200,000 from the proceeds from the house. That's going to give us a total of $500,000 total. In this conservative option, we're not going to invest the money. This way, we will not be concerned with stock market fluctuation. So we're going to have $500,000. Our viewers said that their living expenses right now is $50,000 per year. So in this case, if we take $50,000 times 10 years, that's $500,000. So that would be enough money to cover the viewer's expenses between age 50 and 60, since he wants to retire at age 50. Now we're going to take a look at the second part of our second solution. Our viewer needs to grow his savings from age 50 to 60 so that he has enough money to withdraw for his expenses for the rest of his life. So we're going to take $600,000 proceeds from the house. Again, we took $200,000 out of the $800,000 proceeds in the previous example. And we're going to add that to the $520,000 for the IRA and Roth. That gives us $1,120,000 at age 50. We're going to invest that $1,120,000 at age 50, and we're estimating a more conservative 4% return for the next 10 years from age 50 to 60. That would grow to $1,582,000. At 4%, we're estimating 30% equity, 70% fixed income. So the question is, will the $1,582,000 be enough to withdraw from age 60 through the rest of retirement? Now here's the final results for solution number 2, the more conservative option. Again, we had accumulated by age 60 of $1,582,000. That's from the proceeds of the house and the IRA. Investment return, we're estimating 4%. Withdrawal starting at age 60 of $5,167 per month for expenses. This grows 2% per year for inflation during retirement. The money will last throughout retirement to pay all of our viewers' expenses, but it will leave the children $263,000 for inheritance. Let's look at the final results of our Solution 1 and Solution 2. Solution 1 is going to end up with a higher inheritance amount, so there's going to be room for our viewer to perhaps enjoy some things they want to do in retirement. The main reason they end up with more money, they had a higher rate of return on their investment. We had 50% equities, 50% fixed income. That's not necessarily overly aggressive. Results number 2 ended up having an inheritance of $263,000. Our viewer would have enough money to last in retirement for themselves, but the inheritance wouldn't be as big. And primary difference here is the rate of return on the investments. Now our viewer has the cash so that he can retire early between 50 and 60 years old. If his money was tied up into a Roth or IRA, he could possibly have to pull that money out with a penalty. So that's one good thing I see the viewer has going for himself right here. The other thing is he's going to need to get the best interest rate on his savings as possible so that he can retire early and the money will last a lifetime. So I want to thank you for watching. If you have any comments, leave a comment. Stay tuned for our next update.